Although I'll come back and do some audio tests on the microphone as soon as I possibly can, I thought I would start with some audio from this microphone. This is the Movo VXR10-PRO, and this is being recorded on my iPhone at a distance of about 20 centimeters from the mic. This is how the mic sounds. If you're here at this video just to hear how the microphone sounds, this is what you're going to get. So, that said, let's continue with the video. Hi, welcome to TDCatTech. Today I'm looking at this. This is the Movo VXR10-PRO microphone. It's a very compact shotgun microphone designed for use with smartphones, camcorders or mirrorless cameras. And it comes with a Rycott shock mount with a cold shoe on the bottom and a 1/4-20 thread in there. And it also comes with two cables, one that allows you to connect it from the microphone to a standard camera, and the second one to allow you to connect it from the camera, from the microphone to a smartphone. It also comes in a hard shell case and with a foam windshield, as well as a dead cat. When you attach the foam to here, it looks like that, and the dead cat would go over the top of the foam and provides really excellent wind protection on the mic. It has two ports on the back. One is a line out that will go into the mic input on your camera, and the second is a headphone out that allows monitoring, a live monitoring of the mic. It requires no batteries at all. It is designed purely to use plug-in power from your camera. Really compact device. How does it sound? Well, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hook it up to my smartphone here, and I'm going to let you see that live as a direct comparison between this. I'm using an NTG3 microphone here. This is so bear in mind the Movo here is a £40 microphone. Prices vary. I'll put links in the description so you can see the price right now, but prices do vary. This is a £40 microphone. The NTG3 that I use on my videos is probably about £400 microphone. I'm going to compare the two directly. Not a fair comparison, but let's do it anyway so you can hear how the microphone sounds. So let's plug that into the smartphone input there, and let's open that. I'm going to go into my recording app here, and yep, it is recording. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to hold this microphone in exactly the same place as I would have my shotgun, as I do have my shotgun microphone, so we can get an exact comparison between the two. So there we go. That's with the microphone held in exactly the same place. In fact, I need to do one better than that. I need to take the foam windscreen off as well, don't I? Because I've got not got any protection on the shotgun that I'm using for the video. So there we go. There is a comparison between the two. This is the one that I normally use for my videos, and this is the Movo VXR10-PRO. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I've listened to this mic before, and I think you'll be suitably impressed with how this mic sounds. It's very nice and crisp, maybe lacks a little bit of detail at the bottom, but there could be a good reason for that, which I'll come on to in a second. But there you go. That's how the mic sounds in this kind of usage case, because I think in most cases you would have it mounted. You wouldn't be using the mic really, really close up. You'd have it mounted on top of the camera, and you'd probably be using it at this sort of distance, maybe a little bit closer like that. Something like that. But so there we go. That's how the mic sounds. Let's try it from a little bit closer, from maybe 5 centimeters or so like that, and see how much difference it makes with a lot of the time with microphones. Once you get up close to them, they sound a lot nicer and a lot kind of crisper and clearer. But is that the case with this one? You'll notice I'm using it at an angle. That's to avoid kind of pops and plosives on the mic, but I'll move into the mic as well and use it dead on and try those with pops and plosives, see how it reacts to those. 1 2 1 2. So there we go. That's from that distance, and from about 30 centimeters like that. 1 2 1 2. This is the Movo VXR10-PRO microphone. And let's try off-axis rejection on the mic. I'm going to try that just by rotating the microphone 90 degrees to one side. This is the Movo VXR10-PRO at 90 degrees, VXR10-PRO at 90 degrees, and let's try 180. This is the Movo VXR10-PRO at 180 degrees. So as a shotgun mic, you'd expect it to have reasonably good off-axis rejection, but is that the case with this microphone? Not a particularly long mic, and a lot of the time a shotgun mic achieves its superior off-axis rejection by having a long, what do they call it? A tube? What tube? Something tube on a microphone. And this doesn't have a long one. So you would expect the off-axis rejection not to be as good. Okay, so you've heard how the microphone sounds. Well, what do I think about the microphone? Well, firstly, because it has this all-metal construction, it feels really, really nice in the hand. It feels like a quality product, not like something that's going to break or just, I don't know, it feels like a quality product. Secondly, the stand that it comes with is made by Rode, and Rode are professionals in this game. All right? They're not going to put their name on something, at least I wouldn't have thought they would. They're not going to put their name on something that they don't trust and think is a reasonable product. So the fact it comes with a stand made by, shock mount rather, made by Rode is, in my book, a good thing. The shock mount itself has the classic Rode plastic here, where they sort of mold it in such a way that it is incredibly strong, and this means that this is quite difficult to fit on, but it snaps into place like that, and it is solid. The outputs on the back of the microphone, let me explain these in a little bit more detail. It says it's a line out. It's not a line level out. It's a microphone level out, of course. And you also have a headphone monitoring now. And when I first opened this mic, I thought to myself, this is great. You know, you've got mic, you've got headphone out. You can monitor live on your headphones on a mic that doesn't have any power. Because remember, this has no battery. Another positive for the microphone, it has no battery. It uses plug-in power from your camera. But how do they achieve the mic? How do they achieve the headphone monitoring? Well, they don't. This is not really headphone monitoring at all. And from what I understand, and please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, you cannot use this for monitoring on a standard camera. You can only use this for monitoring when you're using a full TRRS connection, and you can loop back the microphone audio from your device into this. That's all this is. It's essentially a pass-through of the monitoring of the mic from the device. Let me explain what I mean. So on an iPhone, because you're using a cable that carries a separate kind of microphone signal, some apps will allow you to monitor the iPhone microphone, and therefore it comes back up the cable, goes into here, into the line out side of things, and then out of the headphone cable. Some apps will do that, other apps won't. The standard camera app, for example, on the iPhone doesn't allow you to do that. If you use Filmic Pro, it does, and you can monitor your mic. So bear that in mind. This doesn't work, I don't think, for everything. It's not just a standard headphone out, because there's no levels on it, are there? I mean, there's nothing on here to allow you to, adjust levels of the headphones or anything like that. That would be done on the app and passed back up the cable and out of the headphone cable on the microphone. Little bit misleading, I think, that, and I hope I haven't got that wrong. Again, please do correct me in the comments if I have. All right, sound quality wise, this is excellent. I think it misses a little bit of the low frequencies, but I think that's probably a good thing, and that brings me on to another point. There's no options on here. There are no ways of adding a low cut. There's no way of having a higher level output, a hotter output from the mic out on the back of this mic. It's simple, right? And the fact that it's a simple mic is a positive as well. But for some people, bear in mind that if your camera has particularly bad preamps, or you're in an environment that has a lot of low frequency rumble, for example, in a car, you cannot filter that out on the mic itself. Unlike maybe, say, a Rode VideoMic of some kind, they will usually have a low cut filter to allow you to kill off everything below, say, 120 Hertz. You can't do it on this mic. There's just no options to do that sort of thing. The shock mount is pretty good. Does a reasonable job. Not amazing, but it does a reasonable job. The provided accessories as a whole are all you need. They're not giving you anything unnecessary and anything that feels cheap and nasty. The only thing I would say is the hard shell casing. I don't like these. I don't think they're necessary at all. With a mic of this cost, I'm just going to chuck it in a bag and use it. And it takes up that much space as opposed to something taking up that much space. There's just no real need to have that hard shell casing. It looks nice in the box and is a good retail thing, but I think it's maybe a bit excessive for a mic of this type. Other people may have a different opinion on that. They may really like those kind of cases and it might be really, really useful for you. So great. If that's useful for you, fantastic. For me personally, I don't see it as a necessary bit of kit. Overall though, the Movo VXR10-PRO is a fantastic mic for the money. It sounds good. It's really well made, and it's so useful to just have something so tiny that you can just whack on top of a stand with a smartphone on a very, very small mirrorless camera and get such great audio quality out of it. Well worth £40 in my opinion. So if you would like one of these, use the links in the description. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the review. If you've got any comments or any questions, stick them down below and I'll answer them within usually about a day or so, as long as I can. Thanks, bye.